So should you spend your precious time and money going to see this new F1 movie? So F1 is essentially about Brad Pitt's character, who was a sort of a has-been F1 driver, till finally his desperate friend, played by Javier Bardem, comes in and owns an F1 team that is sort of falling apart. So Bardem convinces Brad Pitt to join F1 again. He has to contend with this rookie who's going to be his teammate, and they have very similar personalities, the two of them, and so they have a lot of conflict throughout. They just don't get along on anything. And so that's the central conflict of the movie. That's essentially the plot. And so you see the two of them on the track racing F1 cars, and in each racing scene, they demonstrate character in a beautiful way, and in a fascinating way. You learn more about how F1 racing works, and you learn more about what makes these characters tick. So each race is extremely different from every other race, and you can see the intense strategy that goes on in each race, and it's a level of strategy that I had no idea was at all applicable to such a visceral, instinctual sport as F1. Most of that strategy is a result of the fact that the racers are on teams. You can see each racer pulling the strings of the race in a way that works to their own advantage or works to their colleagues' advantage. It's fascinating. I expected the races to be exciting, and they indeed were, but I didn't anticipate that they would be like really intellectually fascinating. And there will be times during races where you'll laugh, and there will be times when you're frustrated. There will be times when you cheer. There was one point I actually audibly cheered, and only afterward realized how unusual that is for me to do. And so the racing scenes were not remotely disappointing. They are exactly what you expect going in, and they are also various other things that you do not anticipate, and it all works to great effect. The racing sequences in the movie are amazing. So in between the races, I am also very impressed by the movie. There will be scenes where one character is berating another character, or there will be a scene where a character is trying to convince another character of something, and that kind of scene is not in itself the most novel idea for a scene. It's difficult to have an argument between two characters in a movie that feels different from every other argument you've seen between characters in movies before. But in this movie, it actually feels raw, and it actually feels spontaneous, and it actually feels significant. And each individual scene accomplishes exactly the thing it's trying to accomplish. If it's trying to invoke a certain emotion, it definitely accomplishes it very consistently. It's the movie is very effective. There's no inconsistency in the character. There's also no stagnation in the character. They're always changing, but in a very well worked out way that changes smoothly throughout the movie. Now that said, I would still say that there are aspects of the second half of the movie that I didn't love as much. The first half of the movie I think is borderline flawless. It's hard to put into words what I think of the second half, though. I don't dislike anything in the second half. I was just sort of feeling and hoping that the movie would go for something a bit higher up than it ended up doing. I felt that by the end of the movie, the main character hadn't fundamentally changed enough, I suppose. Or the way in which he changed I did not find satisfying morally. And you could argue that the movie wasn't trying to make that happen. But I would argue that if that's the case, I don't know what the movie was trying to do. And you can make of that what you will. But what I can tell you about the movie for sure is this is among the least flawed movies I've seen, because it does not fail at any of the things it attempts. I suppose what I was a bit frustrated by with the ending was what the movie was not attempting that I wish it would reach for and try. But what the movie does try, and what it does succeed at, is it wants you to be thrilled in ways that you've never seen in a movie. It wants you to be fascinated by both the racing, the technical aspects of the sport, and by the character dynamics. You want to be frustrated with the characters, you want to be amused by the characters, you want to feel a camaraderie with them yourself. And also, you just want to go to see a darn good movie, and to enjoy an extremely American, dramatic sport movie. And if that's what you're hoping to get, you need to go see this movie immediately. Please go see F1. You'll be blown away. So thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.